Hi again, Mark here from Talkingbass.net. So today sees the release of the new edition of Simple Steps to Sight Reading for Bass Guitar. It's a progressive method for learning how to read music for bass players, taking you from the absolute basics through to professional standard of sight reading, all presented in simple, easy steps. Now, some of you may be thinking, why do I need to learn to read music? I get by with just using tabs and playing by ear, and there are thousands of fantastic non-reading bass players. And that's true, but I'm going to present two really great reasons for learning to read that can turbocharge some aspects of your bass playing that you might not have considered. So on the face of it, the most obvious reason is just the fact that you're learning to read. And that can be a good enough reason for some. You open the doors to all kinds of gigging and practice possibilities. And I obviously don't need to expand on that. So my first big, not so obvious reason is how it can improve your fretboard navigation. When you sight read a piece of music, you have to cut down on the number of processes in that reading chain. It's not enough to see a note on the page, let's say it's an A flat, decipher that note, look at the bass for the note, and then play it. It's too many processes, it takes too long, it has to be an immediate reaction. That symbol on that line or space has to equal that fret. It has to be instantaneous. We need one process. We've got too many other things to look at. We've got rhythms to look at, dynamics, the next note coming up, all of that stuff. We want one process of that equals that. When you learn to read well, which is basically sight reading, you develop that muscle memory and note recognition to such a high standard that it's on an instinctive level. Think about reading the written word in whatever your native language is. You don't spend all your time working out each word and spelling them out. You'd never get anywhere. That's how you start out, but eventually you don't think about it. It's the same with the bass fretboard. I get asked all the time for exercises on learning the notes on the fretboard, and I've got a whole bunch of little exercises like playing scales through the cycle of fourths, but I can tell you from experience that the best and most musical way is in application, and reading is an inherently musical application. Now, the second not so obvious reason for learning to read is rhythm. One of the best aspects of learning to read is the way that we see rhythm from an ordered visual standpoint. When we learn all the various rhythmic symbols and notation, we have to understand how beats and bars are divided and subdivided, and this is all done with a constant reference to the underlying pulse. As an example, when we learn the basic whole, half and quarter note rhythms in 4/4 in standard notation, we learn to divide the 4 beats into various groupings and then learn how to count them and feel them. So we learn that a whole note is 4 beats, we learn what the symbol is and how it should be played. So with the click, 100 beats per minute, that whole note would sound like this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we learn that a half note is half of a whole note, so we've got 2 beats. So we learn what the symbols are and then how to count them. So, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're learning how to count and feel them. We might learn what the rests are in there. So again, we've got the 2 different combinations. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a rest on the second half. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'd add quarter notes into the mix. So we see the 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Combine them with the half notes and we get several different permutations. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the next one we might have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then maybe quarter note, half note, quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, we might add some dotted notes in there, so dotted half notes. So that's adding half of the note on again. So we're going to have 3 beats there. So we get 2 more permutations. So dotted half note, quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The opposite. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we've learned those basic rhythms and the way that we're dividing them up, we can take that same methodology and apply it to the next subdivision, which is eighth notes. So again, we can look at a 2-beat set of permutations and then work through them. So with the click, I might start with just straight eighth notes. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next I might look at quarter note 2 eighth notes. 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 2 eighth notes quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then let's try eighth note quarter note eighth note. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, then add some dotted quarter notes into the mix. So then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. This is all simple mathematical ordering and permutations, so we get to exhaustively practice all of the different variations. That way, just as with pitch, we don't have to be working stuff out on the fly when we're reading. We automatically understand what the rhythm is, so we can hook the notes on there at the pitches and concentrate more on the expression of the music, rather than the nuts and bolts of pitch and rhythm. In the Simple Steps to Sight Reading course, we exhaustively work through every pitch and rhythmic permutation in isolation before combining them all together in the shape of bass lines and melodies. This is all aside from the position playing, key signatures, expression markings, all of that stuff. It's all addressed in the course in simple, easy steps. So there are over 10 hours of video tuition, over 400 pages of exercises and pieces to work on, and hundreds of audio tracks to play along with. This is the only exhaustive step-by-step method for addressing music reading on bass guitar, and I really feel like it's a bit of a quantum leap forward for general bass education. So if you're interested in getting started with reading music, or if you've tried before and you just found it to be too much hard work or it wasn't taught very well, check out the Simple Steps to Sight Reading course over at Talkingbass by following the link in the info below or the card on this lesson. Volume 2's just been added today, so we have a 20% discount for the next 2 weeks as a release offer. Grab that bargain while it's available, and I'll see you next week.